Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust from the Capital Region's leading experts in real estate and all related fields. From the latest real estate trends to the best mortgage rates, from curb appeal to home warranty, this is the talk show that will help you save and make the most when it comes to buying or selling your most valuable asset. Now, here's your host, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, The Property Shop, John Bevilacqua.
Good morning. Good morning, Johnny G.
Hey, Johnny B.
Good to see Uncle Phil or Dr. Phil all dressed up like that, huh?
Yeah.
He's hustling on a Saturday morning.
They have a big day today, so yeah.
Big day, yeah. Big presentation. Good for those guys. We're listening. Dave Mackenzie's over here sitting in the honor seat over here.
Yeah.
He's got his red shirt on. He looks good. How you doing, Johnny G? What's new with you, man?
Not a whole lot.
No?
No.
Just
waiting for the weather to warm up.
Just keeping those golden pipes warm?
Yeah, well.
Right?
Just drinking too much coffee, that's all.
You and me both, man. You and me both. Hey, so listen, beautiful weather out there, man.
Nice
and actually,
day,
our show doesn't relate to weather today, which is usually, I usually try to equate the weather, but
yeah.
You know what? I shouldn't say that, Dave, because, depending on, I guess the topic for today is, we've talked to so many people that end up with a real estate agent, and they're like, I don't really like this guy. Like, and
no kidding.
Well, I mean, Dave, like, talk about how people meet agents, right?
There's so many different ways of people. I mean, it could be your sister's brother-in-law's first dog owner's friend who happens to sell real estate. Maybe you got a call from somebody on Zillow. There's so many of them,
right?
That everybody knows one or two, right? So
if you're sitting at a bar, chances are there's a real estate agent at the bar.
100%.
Good point. Yeah.
Or your bartender is one.
That's right.
That is right.
So the point is, it's the concept of the realtor is it used to be the neighborhood associate that everybody knew and had ins with homes and was in with the brokerage, and now it's dime a dozen, right? Everybody's just jumping in the game and getting their real estate license, and you might end up with the guy that probably might not be a good fit for you. And we talked about this last show about how the VIP homeowner service is an interview process, right? We want the first thing we really look for at that interview or that consultation is, can we work together, right? Because personalities play a big part in working with a real estate agent, going through this incredibly rocky process from start to finish. I mean, it's like,
how'd you describe it? Like shaving on an airplane?
Shaving on an airplane, like that's what going through a real estate transaction's like. So we're going to hit some key points here on buying a house and selling a house. And if you're not working with us, that's fine, right? This isn't a pitch to use us. We're just saying if you're working with an agent or you're going into the process, here's some key characteristics in your real estate agent that that are vital to get you through a real estate transaction. We're going to take a break, get right into it with me and Dave Mackenzie on the radio talk show.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
It's John Tesh. If you're thinking of selling your home, let me take the stress out of deciding which agent to hire. In the Capital Region, the agent I recommend is John Bevilacqua, founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty at the Property Shop. So for 2 decades, John has helped more than 2,500 families buy and sell the place they call home. That's a solid track record, one that's backed up by dozens of 5-star reviews. Hello. In fact, John is so confident in his marketing system to attract the right buyer for your home that he guarantees to sell it at a price and deadline you agreed to, or he's going to buy it himself for cash. And he provides that guarantee in writing. The agent I trust is John Bevilacqua, and he's the agent you should trust too. His name is his promise. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So write this number down. It's 518-957-SOLD. That's easy. 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. I love that one. JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com, and you'll get your home sold guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore from Moore Insurance Services in Clifton Park. Let me take the stress out of quoting your home and auto insurance. We represent over 10 companies, which allows us to find the best coverage at the best prices. We've been helping families in the Capital District save money on their insurance for over 10 years. You can count on a quick turnaround as well as great communication every time. Give me a call at 518-280-1452 or go online to moreinsurancesvc.com and experience the difference. That's moreinsurancesvc.com.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
You see, like he spits it out so fast. The Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Real Estate Talk Show.
It's our friend Terry.
Terry's great, man. It's smooth. Like we were just thinking, if anybody's listen, it's a call-in show, guys. 518-476-5900. We're thinking of ways of trying to shorten the name, even though we don't want to change the name. It's just trying to get it all out at once is kind of a tongue twister. Anyway, so talking about finding the right agent, Dave Mackenzie here. Longtime property shop, Your Home Sold Guaranteed, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty.
I'm sorry, my
agent, sitting in the hot seat, and we're just talking about like finding the right agent. What are the characteristics and qualities? Before we get into that, we do have a couple of nice properties coming up that we do want to talk about.
Hey,
so Dave, what's in the hopper?
What do you got?
Yeah, we got a couple of great new homes coming out. One in Glenville, one up in Gansevoort.
Nice.
Two very different properties.
Yeah,
one great family home.
Mm-hmm.
Should be on in a couple more weeks. They're just doing their final preps. I don't want to give too much away on that one. And then one coming up in Gansevoort should be on this weekend, Monday at the latest. Just final touch and some pictures and some marketing plans. But this is a great little ranch sitting on 4 acres. It has a 2-stall horse barn with a tack room. It has a humongous, we'll call it a garage building. I mean, it's got a boat in it right now. It's
almost
a car
like a barn.
in it right now. It's very large with a workshop.
Yeah.
Again, sitting on 4 acres, going to be all freshly seeded when it's all said and done. Fenced backyard, big deck, great views, minutes to the track. This one's going to go quick.
Yeah, this one is, what'd you say, Dave, right off maybe exit 16 of the Northwest?
That's right, it's just a couple minutes off exit 16. Yep.
Not far.
Yep.
Mini equestrian property, I like to call it.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day.
100%.
Yep. And a great place for it.
Poor man's horse farm.
Yep.
That's what it is.
It's beautiful.
I don't think you're poor anymore to $500,000. But considering most equestrian properties are upwards of $2 million. So, So a couple things in the hopper for us. I mean, a lot more than that, but just a couple we wanted to mention on the show. But, so getting into as you guys know, the whole premise of the show is to bring you guys information, real estate tips, tricks, ideas, hacks on buying or selling the place that people call home. It's what we've been doing for the last 20 years. We're not bragging. We're just applying for the job of possibly helping you sell your property or buy a property. So, with that being said, Dave, from the buyer perspective, which I think Ben and I hit it last week about the NAR lawsuits, what's happening with buyer agency. Buyer agency is still one of the key pieces of the puzzle when representing a client. What is it? What's important when you're as the agent that you're trying to kind of go use with your client in terms of characteristics and personality?
Yeah, I think touching on what we started talking with first, we have roughly 4,000 agents in this association. Like we said, everybody knows a realtor, and there's a reason for that. Being a real estate agent has a promise of making a lot of money, and it's not difficult to become one.
Right.
So it's a 75-hour course. Take a state test, pay minimal fees. You can become a realtor very easily, which lends itself to a lot of people looking to make a lot of money. Problem is, most of us don't.
Right. Yeah.
The top 5% make a really good living.
Average realtor in America makes $40,000 a year. Right?
That's right. So finding a good one can be difficult because there are so many. But some stuff to look out for.
And it's funny, when I interview agents, I said, hey, so, what'd you get in the business for? And most of them are like, hey, I want to make a lot of money.
Well, what do you think about people?
Then I ask them, what do you think about people? Like, I'm like, well, it's probably not going to work for you then.
Right. This is a people business.
I was going to say, it is a people business.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think that's the number one thing. buyer side or seller side is communication.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it.
And it's the number one complaint we hear from people who have worked with a realtor before us is, they just didn't communicate with me. And I always say to them, this is 2024. First of all, we have a guarantee put in place that we'll be in contact with you from 24 hours of you trying to contact us. And I tell people it's usually 24 minutes because, it's 2024. I have a watch that connects to my phone, that connects to my computer.
Yeah.
If you call, text, or email me, I know immediately.
Right.
I will be back to you.
And we know that you know immediately.
Exactly. So,
And yet I can talk from the buyer standpoint. You're nervous all the time.
Yes.
What's
You're
happening?
jumpy.
What's going on?
And that is
there anything for me?
Johnny G, that's a great point. I'm actually in the process of buying a home myself right now. I'm selling my home, buying a home.
Right.
And I do this for a living. I've been doing it for 10 years. And let me tell you, I'm still nervous. The process is a lot. You're making a huge investment.
That's why you say it's a people business, and it's important to be a good realtor in dealing with people that way.
Right. We say all the time.
Some people can't.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this, because we have people come to us all the time. Most of the time it's on the sell side, right? They've tried to sell their house. They listed with cousin Johnny or Ricky or whoever. I said Johnny.
Yeah.
We're trying to talk to
lots of Johnnies.
So, and they come to us and they're just like, the guy never even got back to us. He stuck the sign in the lawn, took some pictures, and then he was gone.
Right, and probably took the pictures on his iPhone. And
we're going to get into that.
He's busy at his full-time job, so he's not going to get back.
Great point. Johnny G's ahead of the game today. He's ahead of the game today.
100%.
But it's true.
It is true. But we do have on both of our agreements, both the buyer agreement and the seller agreement, there's a communication guarantee where we put our money where our mouth is. Literally, if you don't hear from us within a 24... First of all, you have to hear from us at least once a week, okay? Yeah. That's the bare minimum. But if you call us, we have to get back to you within 24 hours, or we pay you money.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
So that's how...
Just to put someone's mind at ease.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just nothing call... But this buyer or seller, you want to put their mind at ease. Yeah. Hey, things are going fine. Don't worry.
Yep.
Whatever.
I always try to tell the agents, if a client puts an offer through you and you haven't heard anything from the agent by 8, 9 o'clock at night, just text the buyer and say, hey, listen, I didn't hear anything yet. Because they're sitting there waiting for you. They're waiting for you to get back to them.
That's right.
Right? They're on pins and needles.
True.
Right, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, this comes to the next point for me is that as a realtor, you think you're getting into this business to buy and sell houses. What you don't realize is that you're a part-time therapist, you're a part-time attorney, you're a part-time inspector. You have to have a lot of knowledge in a lot of different areas.
So true.
And if you can't talk to people, you can't comfort people, you can't connect with people,
it's not going to work for you.
It's probably not going to work very well for you.
Yeah. You can't relate to people.
True.
Correct. I mean, and John and I talked about this yesterday when we were doing our show prep, is your realtor should be a homeowner.
They should be a homeowner. I mean,
so.
unless you live in a big metropolitan area like a New York City or LA.
Which we don't.
Like I don't know how you're a realtor and you're renting right now. I mean, it's possible, but there's maybe a reason for that.
You want to know somebody who's been through the process. Because again, somebody who's bought a house, is currently selling a house, buying another house. It doesn't matter how many transactions you've done in this business. If you haven't gone through it yourself, it's going to be difficult to relate to your client of how that feels emotionally.
How it feels emotionally.
It's draining.
And it also they can relate because you're putting yourself in their shoes, because it's always, on my house, I got the same problem in the basement. It's been pesky, or I can relate to that because, one of my gutters has got a crack and a hole in it. And it's, come down the foundation. So you can relate to this stuff, and they, especially the first time buyers, because they don't.
Oh man.
They're just used to their landlord fixing everything at their beck and call, which probably doesn't get fixed, which is why they're probably buying a house, because they're sick of renting. And it's like, okay, well, you guys are going to have to start fixing this stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the bearer of just indifferent news at this point, because welcome to home ownership. Right.
Right. That's right.
No, it's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. So, but again, at this point though, all this stuff's breaking. You got to fix it. There's issues that are going to happen with every aspect of home ownership.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
And this rolls into other knowledge too, having knowledge of the mortgage aspect, how much money you want to put down. A lot of clients think they want to put down as much money as possible and then don't have money saved up for when those problems come. So, we need to know, well, listen, if instead of putting 20% down, let's look at putting 10 or 15% down so you can have a little bit in your bank. If you're not getting that kind of advice, you're probably not working with the right person.
Mm-hmm. And that we actually, Ben and I hit on that last show because we talked about how seller assists and concessions are important. And Johnny's giving me the signal that we're at the break, but we'll cut to break. We'll talk about using those concessions for emergency funds right after the break on the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Real Estate Talk Show. I got it.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, we're back and we are tackling the topic, Dave Mackenzie and I, from the property shop, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. We are talking about agent selection. Agent selection, we're trying to give you guys a guide on agent selection, but it really comes down to personality and communication is what we've kind of narrowed it down to. But that's not just, those are the key characteristics.
Right. This is the beauty of radio. We come in with pages and pages of show prep, and then we don't hit on any of the points. But Johnny G giving us such great insight from behind the booth of, that's why you do the show prep, right? Because now our wheels are turning. We're talking about what's important, and we've touched on really the emotional aspect of it, right? The human aspect of who you want to work with, why you want to work with them. We haven't touched so much on the technical aspect, and while it is so important to have a human connection with your realtor should also have a lot of knowledge about what's going on.
Yeah,
and I think we're going to touch on a lot of that right now.
Before we get into that, I do want to talk about a very important product that we offer, a certified pre-owned program that we use with our sellers. I can't tell you how, as I keep my conviction on this product, I can't get any more convicted. I have to keep pressing this issue with homeowners, how incredibly important a pre-inspection is when listing a house.
I just did it.
Right? It's for $500. I mean, that's the cost of a basic inspection. If you use one of our guys, if you call any home inspector, you're probably going to be between $450 and $700.
Yeah,
that to save you thousands. I'm talking $10,000 to $20,000 is worth its weight in gold. Okay,
yep.
Not only that, with the certified pre-owned program, now you're going to buyers and saying, "Listen, here's everything that's wrong with the house. Here's what we fixed, and the stuff that's a little bit too big that we're going to pass on to you, it's in the price." We've already discounted it.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear it at your inspection because at that point the deal is it's an as-is deal, right?
And this goes
and it's warranted too with our home warranty
100%.
program. Yep.
This goes right back into the emotional aspect of selling a home too. And again, I can tell you I'm selling a home right now, and I did just this. I got the pre-inspection. And one of the things you think, you love this home. I've lived in this home for almost 10 years. I've raised a family. I've redone every room in the house. But I'm still sitting there thinking, what could be
Something's wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't been in the attic.
Yeah.
Is
the
my
last time you did a
boiler
radon
okay?
test?
Right. So having, and I had an inspector come in who I who I've worked with a lot, and he came to me and he said, I'm going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. I said, thanks. And I followed him around, and he went through it. And let me tell you how much better I felt after that. And, got a very...
Felt better about yourself and your house?
100%.
Okay.
My stress level reduced tremendously. And listen, the buyers for my home, they still did their inspection, but it was okay. I wasn't worried about it. Yeah. They went through, and every inspector is different. They're all going to find different things.
It's their job.
And things came up, but now we have 2 reports to compare and contrast, and we got through that inspection contingency really easily. It just really...
Was there any price negotiation?
No price negotiation, nope, because we already knew what everything was. There were a couple of smaller things came up that we took care of. We had some moss on the roof. We got rid of it.
Yeah, it's easy.
Easy stuff.
Yeah.
It really did ease the emotions a lot.
Yeah. And honestly, that is the trickiest part of the deal, is going through the inspections. It really is. I mean, title can be technical and maybe time consuming, but
appraisals,
9 out of 10 times it's going to get worked out, right?
Yep. 100%.
There might be a back title issue or mortgage.
Just went through a deal that had an open inspection report from 1978 that had to be resolved. But you know what? It got resolved.
It got resolved, and that's part of title. That's not. Don't take that as the part of the inspection. It's just it's part of back title.
The inspection is where most negotiations come.
Because money comes into play. And then once money comes into play, that's where that relationship, that human connection with your client comes into play. Because that connection is solidified by trust. Because if there's no trust there...
And that's where knowledge and experience comes in, too.
Right.
Because there's some things in inspection that, if the radon test is high, we're probably just going to have to remediate it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that can happen where... No matter what,
that's an easy fix.
Right, that is.
You start getting into knob and tube, asbestos,
septic problems,
septic issues.
Right.
I mean, these are big ticket items. Like these are 20. Oh, by the way, it's a call-in show, 518-476-5900. If anybody out there listening, you want to talk to us about, your agent or agent selection, give us a call. You want to talk about, knob and tube wiring? I don't care. It's a real estate show. But anyway. Going back to that, right? You get into these old houses. I mean, we live in a historic area.
Yep.
Troy, Albany, Schenectady. Yep. These houses are built in 1800s. Some of them.
Yeah.
You're gonna find mold. I mean, you're talking about wood in a basement that's 100 years old. There's something growing on it.
Right. Same thing with these old Albany houses.
Yes.
There's going to be asbestos.
There's going to be asbestos,
which was a big scare 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But now we understand. Yeah, wrap it up and we're okay.
Yeah. Asbestos isn't even an issue anymore. But mold is again it's a racket of sorts, right?
And there's different layers of mold. There's white mold. There's black mold. Knowing if it's good or bad. And again, this goes to the experience of your agent. How many inspections have they been through? How many of these things have they seen? What have they seen in their own home? And being able to see that when you're showing a home, having a experienced realtor who's not a part-time guy who also bartends and does 17 other things, or gal, having somebody who's experienced in this, has been through hundreds of inspections, that can say, hey, this looks like it could be this. And just having some knowledge of that, knowing, hey, we're going to write that into our offer. Experience in that stuff is... And
that plays into negotiations, too, because you got to know when to hold and when to fold them.
That's right.
Because kicking up a pile of dust on something that's not worth kicking up, you got to let your client know that. Say, hey, listen, let's choose our battles. Right.
If everything's rainbow and lollipops on every single showing... you're probably working with the wrong person.
What do we got, a caller, John? Nope.
You're going to give me a chance to hit the switch here.
It's out of
Joe Malone. How you doing, buddy?
Big Joe. You couldn't stay off the show, could you?
Hey, guys. Great show today. I just wanted to interject one thing. You were talking about picking an agent and everybody thinks that because we're realtors, we're great talkers, but picking a great agent, you want a person that's a great listener. And that's something that I really had to learn in getting into this business. You got to really listen to what the client is telling you, and that what's their time frame, how motivated are they to sell, what's the price they got to get for how big's the you got to be a good listener. And as a person who has to talk all the time, being a good listener is probably the most important thing about being a realtor.
Yeah,
that's a great point. And actually,
a great point.
Great point, Joe. And when you look at
2 ears, 1 mouth.
When you look at our buyer packet, when we sit down for our buyer consultation, it looks like a job interview, and that goes to what Joe was saying, where we'll ask a question, but then we have so much room to fill in the blanks because we want to listen to you. We want to know exactly what you're looking for so that we can find you exactly what you want.
Yeah. What are you working on the camp back there, Joe? What's going on? You got pots and pans? Are you cooking something?
Oh, I've got, it's Saturday morning, and the missus has given me a list of things I need to get done. So I'm working at it.
At least you're not out mall walking.
Give it a couple years.
So anyway, well, Joe, we appreciate the feedback. It's a complete valid point because not only just like Dave said, I mean, it's an interview because we sit down with these people and 9 out of 10 times they really don't know what they want, right?
That's right.
Imagine going out and showing them 3 or 4 houses and putting 2 hours of time and then finding out after all that, like, hey.
We want single-level living. Well, we've only looked at 3-story houses.
Why did you send me to look at a Center All Colonial?
But to Joe's point, if you're not asking the right questions, then you can't listen.
Yeah, and you're getting your agent off of Zillow. Hey, Joe, listen, I hate to cut you off, but we got to take a break right here from our sponsors, and after we get back, Dave and I are going to wrap up the show.
Thanks, Joe.
Have a great day, guys.
Okay.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore from Moore Insurance Services at Clifton Park. Let me take the stress out of quoting your home and auto insurance. We represent over 10 companies, which allows us to find the best coverage at the best prices. We've been helping families in the Capital District save money on their insurance for over 10 years. You can count on a quick turnaround as well as great communication every time. Give me a call at 518-280-1452 or go online to moreinsurancesvc.com and experience the difference. That's moreinsurancesvc.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
All right, we're back. We're about to wrap up the show here. We really kind of, Dave, Mackenzie, and I from the property shop, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, just kind of tackled the characteristics of a good agent, whether you're working with us, working with somebody that you really know and trust, or some dude that you just found, or some gal that you have no connection to. Dave, what's the advice?
Yeah, time flies. This is like a time machine in this booth.
I'm telling you, man.
My ultimate advice on choosing an agent would be this: whether it's your brother, your best friend, somebody you went to high school with, if you think you want to work with them, talk to 2 other agents.
Yeah.
You never know who you're going to run to. When I became a realtor, started at a big box realty group and decided I was going to leave, and I interviewed with a broker who I thought for sure this is who I'm going with. Ended up talking to my guy over here, Johnny B, after. Wasn't even going to go to the interview, and the connection was so pure that it was a no-brainer for me. Yeah. I was 100% sold on somebody else from a recommendation from a friend.
Yeah.
And then I almost canceled the appointment, but went in, talked to John, fell in love. Bro love.
His wife said, man, you were mean to that guy.
Yeah. was totally going to write him off, but went in and we just connected. And I think that equates to interviewing realtors too. So go out and talk to a couple people, see who you connect with.
Make a connection.
And if it ends up being your brother's best friend's wife, great.
Yeah.
If not, at least you did your due diligence.
And text him right after the interview and make sure he texts you back. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Real Estate Talk Show. Great show, Johnny. Thank you very much. We'll be back next Saturday with another guest.
Enjoy that sunshine.
The Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show is presented by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop. Join broker and founder John Bevilacqua every Saturday morning at 8:30 to hear about the latest real estate trends here in the capital region, where to find the best mortgage rates, home insurance, home warranties, and more. To speak to John about buying or selling your home, call now to schedule an appointment. 518-957-SOLD. That's 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. That's JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com.